Hey guys, how's it going? Mama Lala with a destroyed throat, and I'm doing a bit of a different one today. Now, the whole purpose of this channel is to be very generalised. That's what I've had in mind since I started. I wanted to give general advice that most people could follow if they were dealing with certain issues. I try not to be too specific, but last night, my friend Will from DA Games, of whom I'm a moderator, he posted a load of stuff about his current situation. Now, unfortunately, I can't fix his situation, and anyone who knows me knows that I will jump through fucking fire if it can help my friends. So the only thing I can do is offer general advice for the situation he's currently in that might be tailored slightly specifically towards his situation. So I'm sorry if other people don't find this quite as useful as I'd like these videos to be. But this video is kind of a message to him, but kind of I'm also hoping that other people can gain something from this, and if they are in a similar boat, they can hopefully get a little bit of help and support from this. Now, one of the big things that I noticed, I'm going to stop that out because smoking on camera is so rude and people are going to tell me off. One of the big things I noticed is just dealing with independence, dealing with living independently when you have depression and when you're not used to it. That can be a real bastard. That can be an absolute cunt to deal with. And I'm speaking 100% from personal experience on that one. And I'm still dealing with that. There are still points where I won't shower for days on end, and I won't eat all day, I won't drink all day, I won't tidy up. Like, it can be really, really difficult to motivate yourself in those situations because the apathy of the situation can strike at any time. You can always be thinking, what's the point? Why am I bothering? Who am I doing this for? Blah, blah, blah. Now, that is not an easy problem to deal with, because if you're used to living your life with someone keeping you on the straight and narrow, with people there to have a reason to do things for, it can be incredibly difficult to find that motivation to do them for yourself, especially when you're in a situation where, I hate to say it, a lot of people are in this where you don't particularly like yourself, so you don't see a purpose. The only advice I can give to that is starting small, starting very small. I personally have a whiteboard in my room. I went to the pound shop and got one of those little hanging whiteboard things, and I'm constantly writing reminders to myself on that whiteboard before I do anything else. Because it used to be that as soon as I got up, I'd go straight on the laptop because I was addicted to social media and online interaction. So I would put everything else to the wayside to get on that computer and start interacting with people. But you can't do that. You can't just wake up and be straight on a computer. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for your own mental well-being as well as physically. So what you need to do, at least what you can do, is start writing little goals for yourself before you go anywhere near a computer, before you go out of the house, before you do anything like that. So starting off very small, the way I did it, first thing, make your bed. It's such a weird one, but there is a whole video on Facebook. If I think you can find it on YouTube as well. It's called "If You Want to Change the World, Make Your Bed." Because the whole idea of it is that tiny, tiny sense of accomplishment can really help you kickstart your day. Because if you wake up and the first thing you do when you get out of bed is you make your bed, then you've started the day on the right foot. You've made a small accomplishment in your day. And at the end of the day, if you have a terrible day and everything else in the world goes wrong, at least you're coming back to a made bed. And at least you can say to yourself, yes, everything went to absolute hell in a handbasket, but I did one good thing today. And then from that, you can start adding different things to this little checklist that you have when you wake up in the morning or the afternoon or the evening, depending on your sleep schedule. So it could be, you start off with just make your bed, and then you're done, and then you can go do whatever. And then the next one could be make your bed and brush your teeth. I'm a hypocrite on that one because my dental hygiene is awful, because I'm still working on this myself. All of this is personal experience talking. So I hope it can help. But just make your bed, brush your teeth, have a shower. And then from that you can go make your bed, brush your teeth, have a shower, do the dishes. Just tiny little things that you constantly remind yourself to do before you do what you would normally do. So that could be going on your computer, writing music, watching TV, whatever your normal daily routine is like. You need to add those things at the top and do them straight away. It is very tempting with this kind of thing to procrastinate and just wait until the last minute to get things done. But unfortunately, that will not help your mental health at all, because it seems like something that shouldn't really have a bearing on your it shouldn't have a bearing on your day or your mental well-being just to have some dirty clothes lying around and a couple of dishes in the sink. But seriously, just if you trust me on nothing else, trust me on this. There is a sense of personal accomplishment that comes with just getting all of these things done and out the way and finished before you do anything else, that can change the whole trajectory of your attitude. It can make everything seem a little bit better, because even if everything goes wrong, at least you've done some things. At least you don't have any dishes in the sink. At least you don't have any clothes in the washing machine. Even if it's a case of you put yourself in a time limit, which is something I've done a few times, where I've said, right, when I get out of bed, I'm not allowed to go on the internet and talk to people or whatever for 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, I'm going to get shit done. It can be really hard to do because you have the fear of missing things. You have the fear of coming back to finding out a shitstorm has happened. But sometimes you can't avoid that. Sometimes your real life, your physical well-being has to take priority over those kind of things. And the big problem with that is it's really hard to find motivation to do it when you're on your own. When I was in uni and I was living on my own for a year, I found it incredibly difficult to do things because there was no driving force behind me to do things. And that can happen when you're unemployed, when you're self-employed. That can happen when you don't answer to anyone. A lot of things can slip to the wayside because you don't have that external pressure of someone else you have to please. That can also happen if you're single, because a lot of, I hate to say it happens to blokes more, but when you don't have a partner in the house who will get upset if things aren't done or who will remind you to do things, you can just forget to do them, and then they can just slip to the wayside, and then next thing you know, you've got a filthy house, you've got no clean clothes, you've got no clean dishes, and you feel like shit for it, because there's no reason to do it other than for yourself. And if you don't have the motivation to do it for yourself, then you're just going to feel terrible. It's just a case of finding that personal motivation and just thinking to yourself, okay, I don't necessarily have to do this, but I want to do it. I want to be in a clean house. I want to have clean clothes. I want to feel clean. I want to feel freshly showered. I don't want to be hungry. I don't want to be thirsty. It's a case of just finding that motivation for yourself to do these things. And that is easier said than done. That is ridiculously easier said than done. It is so damn easy just to ignore these things and to just let them escalate. But for your own personal sake, you need to fight against that. You need to fight against that that little voice telling you that you don't have to worry about it yet and you've got all the time in the world. You need to treat it almost like it's your job. Treat it almost like you're working a crap minimum wage job, which I know we've all done. And that if you don't get these things done, a manager is going to be on your arse, or you're going to get a pay cut or something. You're lying to yourself, yeah, but at the end of the day, it will get shit done. Because until you can learn to have yourself be your own motivator, then pretending that you have an external motivator can be really helpful as well. And the only other thing I will suggest, which is something that I've done a few times, just get outside for a bit. I know that sounds really patronising and really like, duh, but a lot of people don't do it. When you're single and you don't have a job, or if your job, talking in the example of Will, for example, his job is primarily sitting in front of a computer base that goes for the recording music, recording videos, recording this, recording that. You don't have reasons to go outside. but you need to. You need to get that. You need to get that exercise. Get that exposure to serotonin. There's someone in the kitchen. Hello. It's probably the dog. But you need to go outside and sorry about that. But you need to get outside, be a little bit active, because even if all you do is walk around the block, just that tiny bit of physical activity can bring an overwhelming sense of personal accomplishment. And that's the kind of thing you need. You need to have these moments of accomplishment to counter the negativity happening in your life. You need to have these tiny moments that you can cling to and say, you know what, today wasn't a waste. Everything went wrong, but at least I got outside for a bit. At least my dishes are done. At least my washing is done. At least my bed is made. You need those tiny, tiny little things that you can hold on to. And then that also gives you motivation for the next day as well, because then you start thinking, all right, I made my bed today. Tomorrow, I'm going to brush my teeth. It's minuscule, but they can make all of the difference. As far as the mental health aspect goes, I'm afraid I can't offer much advice on bipolar disorder, or I can offer advice on depression and anxiety because of, again, personal experience and interacting with others with it. But at the end of the day, if you're seriously concerned about your mental health and you believe that you have a condition as serious as bipolar disorder, then just get straight to a doctor. That's it. It's as simple as that. Don't procrastinate. Don't trust online opinions. I mean, you can listen to online testimonial, but don't take that as gospel. But just get straight to a doctor and get the confirmation that you need. And if you're really, 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 really feeling that you need extra help, then therapy services are an option, but you can shop around, because a lot of people I've heard have said, I tried therapy and it wasn't for me. And the thing is, a lot of therapy is, a lot of mainstream, I want to say mainstream, a lot of current therapy techniques are based on CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. That doesn't work for everyone. I can give a personal testimonial to that, in that I tried cognitive behavioral therapy and it didn't work. And then I went to another counsellor who dealt with person-led therapy. And that was less about fixing the mindset, I suppose, the breaking you out of a current mindset. And it was more about looking at the moment, looking at what was happening in the moment and how you can fix things in the moment and make things better for the future. It was less about fixing your brain's overall function and more about looking at personal experience and how to fix it in the moment. But there's a lot of different types of therapy out there. There's music therapy, physical therapy. There's a ton of different ways that you can undergo therapy. And as it is with antidepressants and medication, sometimes you just need to shop around, have a look at different options, do a few trial sessions, and actually find something that works for you. Because a lot of people give up on therapy very quickly because the one type of therapy that they tried didn't work. And I can give a massive personal testimonial that there are forms of therapy out there that will work for you. If you are willing, if you go into it with the understanding that you want to put the effort in. If you're going to go into therapy without wanting to put the effort in and without wanting to make a change, then it's not going to work. It operates along a similar line to hypnosis. If you go into it thinking it's not going to work, then yeah, it's not going to work. You should only look into therapy if you're actually ready to give it a proper chance to actually do some good. But as I said, I'm playing with this a lot. As I said, I went into therapy and it has done me a world of good. I've made some massive positive changes in my life, and I plan to keep making those positive changes, one of which is being this channel and being able to put messages out for people. But anyway, this has become rambly. It's on its way to being a 17-minute video again, for fuck's sake. But for the basic rundown, for the only advice I can give, in particular to Will, who I want to help if I can, but also for anybody else watching this who might be undergoing something similar, where you feel like you have no motivation, you feel like your life is almost slipping out of your control and you don't know how to handle it. All I can say is start very small, set personal goals for yourself, set tiny goals for yourself. Do not make them big overarching things, because if you can't achieve them, that will fuck your mental health even more. So make it small things that you know you can do. And then have a list somewhere, have a checklist, have a whiteboard, have a fucking pegboard, have something there to give a physical reminder to do these things. And then do these things before you do anything else. Don't leave them until the last minute. Don't think, well, I'll just go on the computer for half an hour and then I'll do it, because we all know that never happens. Just get it all done as quickly as you can, and then you can go through the day knowing you accomplished something, and you'll have a clean house and clean dishes and clean clothes and a made bed and be freshly showered. You'll have all of this ready. Just put other things like going online and interacting to the side just for an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours, depending how long it takes you to do these things. But just put them to the side just for a little while. You need to sort out your actual self before you can start dealing with online interactions, because you get sucked in and then you get sat down in that computer chair and then that's you for the day, and then things will never get done. You need to find that motivation within yourself to say, no, I want to do this. I want to be better. I want to improve my situation. And that involves pushing yourself. And it's fucking hard. And anyone who's going through it, you have my sympathy, because I'm fucking doing it too. But you need to do it. You need to find that motivation within yourself. Now, I'm going to stop because I'm nearly at 17 minutes. I hope some of this has been helpful. And if anyone wants to talk to me or talk to others about this situation or about any situation, as always, drop a message, drop a line. I'm always here, and I will always be here to help anyone who needs it. I love each and every one of you, and everyone who is going through this stuff. You are strong, you are capable, and you can get through it. We all can. I'm right there with you, and I'm sending every bit of love out that I can to everyone who is going through something like this. I'm Mama Lala, and I'm going to finish my fact. Bye.